to this week's Cafecito Power Break. I hope you're all doing spectacularly well on this Wednesday. I'm excited to be your host. I'm Ileana Rojas on this Cafecito, and I couldn't be more grateful than to be joined by Diana Johnson in this Cafecito today in a very important conversation about finances and our finances and how do we manage our finances, and especially what do we need to keep in mind as we set into 2026 and we think about our goals and what it is that we want to accomplish in 2026, and then how can we align our finances to our goals, because it's critically important. If not, we're not going to be able to accomplish whatever it is that we want to do in this year. So I'm so excited to have Diana, one of our, actually, Diana is our chapter leader as well for the Atlanta chapter. So not only is she a valued member that brings a lot of expertise from the financial perspective, but if you're in the Atlanta area, then Diana is your leader for any event that's going to happen in 2026 as well. So Diana, thank you so much for being here with us today. I'm so excited for our conversation. And I want to start just by you introducing yourself so that people know like who you are, what it is that you do, and then we'll get on the conversation.
Well, muchas gracias. Thank you so much, Ileana, for this opportunity. My name is Diana Johnson. I am originally from Colombia, but I live in the United States now for over 20 years. I immigrated to this country at a very young age to pursue the American dream, to build a better future for myself, for my family. And I have been blessed that great guidance in regards to the finances since I came here. And that has made such a difference in my life. And for that reason, now I serve as a financial professional based here in Atlanta, helping Latino community, multicultural companies, and business owners, families, and leaders that want to improve, but not just that, build legacy and financial prosperity for themselves and future generations to come. So it's an honor to be here. I have been in this journey now for, I would say, 15 years, okay? And then as a professional, 6 years. But before that, I was also on the corporate side, which was a great opportunity as well, a great foundational. And now I get to serve my community on the financial guiding, protecting, and helping plan for the future.
I love that, and it's critically important because especially for those of us that moved into the US, right? Like we were experts, or maybe something, at least we knew more about how to manage our finances, or at least a little bit in our home countries. But then you come to the US and it's like this whole new world that you don't understand, that it's very hard to put your finger on, and sometimes in a language that we don't understand, or that it's hard for us to understand. And with people explaining it to us, like I know that I've gone through a lot of people that have explained me to things that I'm still like, what? Like I don't get it. So I love that you take your time as a Latino professional to be able to speak to people in a way, not only from a language perspective, but in a way that people understand, that you can go through it. So I think that's critically important. I'm very excited about that. So I want to ask you first, why is financial empowerment especially important today for Latina professionals? And it's something that we really need to hone in as we go into 2026, that we keep our finances in the way that they're going to help us, right? And we need to keep that front and center. Why is it important?
It's very important because women in general tend to be the caretakers in the family. Okay, we are the ones who help so many loved ones in our community. We are the ones that work, but if we stop, get sick, everything gets affected. Everybody gets affected. And unfortunately, we're the ones that think or plan for ourselves last. I saw this, unfortunately, be model in my family. Even when I came here, I noticed myself repeating the same pattern. And even though I was working so hard, I had three jobs because I was determined to go to school, be able to pay for college. I didn't see a lot of money at the end of the month. Everything was being used or spent, whether it was living expenses, credit cards, or paying the car rent, or sending money back home. That I was like, how do people do this? How am I going to build my goals if no matter how hard I work, I don't see the money growing fast enough, right, to get to my desired results? That was that question, Ileana. And I had that question very young in my life. I said, my body's not going to be able to keep up with this. I cannot work 3 jobs for the rest of my life. But again, what if I decide to get married and have kids? I don't want dreams. I wanted to be able to do both, be successful in my career, have a family, but also have financial prosperity. So I could go back to Colombia, visit my family when I could, be able to travel with my family, be able to give back to my community, and be able to save and plan for the future. So that was like that desire that I always had within me. That's the reason I came here. I work hard there, so I'm going to work hard here. I know that. That's in our blood. Latinos, we're hard-driven people. But is it that going to reflect in my bank account? Okay, and I'm going to build along the way. While I'm working hard, what else am I building? Right? What seeds am I planting? And that is also based in leadership, and I love to read. So I read a lot of biographies, and I would say, well, if this is if anywhere that I could make this possible would be in this country. And I'm the one that has to now learn that knowledge to be able to do that. So that was the desire, and the kids too, raised by a single mom. And I also had a very hard experience growing up when my mother lost her partner. And overnight, she was a single mom with 4 kids, and I had to grow up fast because I so I had to become like her right hand. So that also showed me that even when you're in love, love can be taken away when you least expect it. And then what? If you're not ready, if you don't have nothing to fall to, right? So being very open about finances is so important. Talking with your partners, with your family, with your spouses, anybody, to make sure that no matter what, you're going to be okay. And that's what set me out on this journey.
I love that, and the way that you share your own personal experience is so powerful, because it's when we hear other people's stories that then we can see ourselves reflected in those stories, or that they can click right in those stories. And you're right, like many of us are not taught to take care of our finances. We are taught that we're caregivers, that we need to nurture everybody else, right? That's our number one role, or it feels that way. But nobody tells us how to do that, and the importance of guarding our finances, so that we can then be able to take care of others as well, right? That becomes also critically important. So I love that you mention it, and that you mention it about living it firsthand, as well, through yourself and through your family, because that's when you learn the most, and you're going to be able to connect with our audience. Now, many of
Yes.
us, to your point, we're not taught, right, on how to do this. And we do a lot of finance. I know that I've had my share of financial mistakes, because nobody tells you, so you learn the bad way. And we shouldn't be learning the bad way. We should be like learning from experts like you. So what do you normally see as these mistakes that people do, or these things, these missteps? I don't want to call them mistakes. These missteps
Lessons.
that
Yeah.
how can we avoid them? What are the common things that the audience should know?
And Iliana, I want to say first is that we all have done them, okay? Even myself. It's just that I learn fast. It happens to me once. And boy, when I get down, I'm going to rise up stronger than ever. That's my personality. That's how I am with everything. I remember buying that first card, Ileana. Okay, they got me on that one. That interest rate, I was like, no, I cannot believe that I signed this and now I had to stuck with it and I had to pay it. Oh, that was enough to learn the automobile industry in this country. country and how it works. And then also I went and purchased my first home, small letters. And oh gosh, I got a loan. It was something, it was just confusing, right? You don't understand. You just trust people. But at least I try. And I learned from it. And the next time I did it, and the next time better. Because the idea is not to become fearful of that. Is okay, what do I need to learn? Who can I connect with that is going to guide me? And that's why I love, because in that journey, I found my first financial professional that guided me. Okay, empower me back again, because I know when we go through that, we just want to go to the corner and hide. Sometimes we feel embarrassed, we don't want to write, but no, it's part of life. So don't feel bad. It's just like, how can I learn? If this is not something that I'm passionate about, why don't find a supporting network, group, professionals? That's why I love doing this. I care about my clients and my friends and my community. In my case, I love this. I read this all the time. So it was easy to just find somebody and just wanting more and more and read more books. But what happens is sometimes we live, fear hold us back. Sometimes past experiences, okay? And then we just generalize everything. Sometimes it's waiting, delaying, thinking that we have time, later. No, because time is powerful and is a key component for financial wealth and prosperity. Sometimes you can put away certain amount, whether it's into a 401k account, IRA, independent accounts, whatever you have, or into something more secure like life insurance policies or things like that. But in time, it's the only thing that you cannot buy more of. You can always money, but you cannot make more time. And for me, that was something I understood that at a very young age. Something else is just letting other people do the work that you know you should be doing for yourself. You don't have to be, to know your numbers. And you should check your numbers at least once a year. I check all my accounts, right? How much my accounts grew, how much in savings, how much in debt, how much in investments, where is my money? And I make sure that I'm using it aligned with my values. Sometimes we get so distracted. We get bombarded with marketing, commercials, social media, and we end up spending money on things that are not important. And that money could have been used for something else. Or sometimes having to delay something that is important because I made a decision by emotion that now I'm having to deal with. Sometimes you work so hard and then somebody come and asks you for money and then you lend the money, but no, right? That was for you, for your goals. Or sometimes we have it there and it's just itching. So when we go and buy something, it's just understanding value and what are my patterns. Sometimes we have to protect ourselves from our own patterns. I have also my check and balances. I have people that, I share my goals with so they can kind of accountable. But even when I want to do things, it's asking me to do things, it's like, hey, no, because I'm committed to this. And that has served me a lot. And then in speaking with your spouses, with your partners, with your friends, with your sister, with the people that you live with that are going to be impactful in the decision making. And hold them accountable too. We're so smart. For me, this is how I was seeing myself. I was like, okay, Diana, you came here. You had the guts to leave your home country at the age of 17. I've been working 3 jobs for over 5 years. You put yourself through school. I went to Georgia State and I cash flow that education. I did not take a student loans. And it was thankfully to the tuition reimbursement at my employer and things that I had, but I reduced my expenses to be able to pay for that semester after semester. And I stayed the path. I got dual majors in business and marketing. You went and performed at your job. You have provided for your family back home. Life, right? You went and purchased that home and had your first kid. But somehow you're going to let the numbers intimidate you. Where is that? Why? So I started seeing, no, this is another skill that I'm going to learn. The same way you learn to play an instrument, right? Like if I'm learning to play the piano, I'm learning to play this. And that really has been very important. So I invite women, and women and whether you're a business owner, professional, stay-home mom, sit down, do your numbers, ask your husband, valuable questions, and understand where are we going 5 years, 10 years from now, to see if we had to make adjustments, and learn to say also no sometimes to our loved ones. That includes our kids, teaching the value of money, right? Teach them the value of money. They had to earn everything. I had to earn everything. I think that's what makes me, like, okay, let them earn everything. They're not going to learn this anywhere. Just not teaching that, the system doesn't benefit from you knowing that. So it's up to us to take that responsibility and being asking for those questions, speaking up. And that's why United Latina is so amazing, Ileana, because for me, it's those communities that empower me so much. Thankfully, to the United Latinas organizations, mentorship groups, networking groups, even when I was in college, that, I was like, oh my gosh, let me see what else out there, because I only know how to go from work to school to the house. But I knew that I needed to develop my skills so I can add more value in the marketplace and then go and ask for that raise. I learned that too, that I couldn't say just quietly sitting on that table doing my work. I needed to show it. I needed to also and understanding the benefits that your employer provides. I was always looking forward to those emails. My company had also purchased as an employee at a discount. I was always looking forward to those quarterly reports. And then I would say, okay, what else can I buy? And when I got my bonuses, because I was in marketing, so based on performance, we will get bonuses. I will invest my bonuses. I was like, no, these are my money for other goals. So it just, again, we can ignore it, but we can also have possibilities. It's just organization, seeing it differently. I also like to treat myself. I love to travel. I love to spend great time with family. I love to have great experiences. But then I organize my time to be able to do that. So I invite you to be active, to connect, to use networks like United Latinas, because we have a pillar, which is the wealth pillar, and we have a lot of experts here. So you have diverse women with a lot of experience that can guide you as well. And we have other areas, because remember, skill development go alongside wealth building. Okay, so now through Latinas, United Latinas, we're learning public speaking, being on stages, storytelling. How can I get this message out there? How can I get connected to more women, to more families, to more business owners? How can I continue to, live a powerful legacy, not just financially, but with the knowledge that I share? And for me to uplift everybody around me. There's my sisters, my cousins, but also my community here. So for me, it has been really a gift. But I think women, if we let go of those limitations, at first everything is going to look a little challenging and overwhelming or intimidating. But like everything, it gets easier. But now than ever, financial education, financial literacy is a must, because you see the changes. We see the layoffs. We see AI. We see,
Yep.
robots now taking your job, which, we can, but nobody's taking nothing. Okay, it's just, okay, I had to play a different game, be in my comfort zone. And now I need to become smarter to learn, manage these tools, these technologies, this robot, whatever it is, even financially, right? People can use also software to do that. But we know that it's not just the know, it's the care. And we're
I,
humans.
I love
And that, that's the beautiful. Mhm.
I love everything that you shared, because you shared a lot of nuggets. But I think the biggest one and the most important one is not to wait. We can't wait another day. We can't wait another year, especially with everything that's happening right now. The time is now to ask questions, to be in control, to not be afraid of the numbers. I love what you're saying about know your numbers, because I remember that in my time, I was like, oh, the financial advisor should know. And you're like, no, like you need to know, you need to understand, because that financial advisor might not be doing the best for your money, right? And you're losing money by not knowing your numbers. So I love all of those things. And then setting aside small things for you is also important, because that's going to be, like we always say, right? It's the oxygen mask that we put on ourselves so that we can then help others. And this is setting aside that money for us is also a way to be able to help others in the future. Because if we have nothing, then we can't help others in the future, like the examples that you share and that many of us have gone through. So heading on to, we have a couple of minutes left because there's a lot to unpack here. But what do you, we're talking about today being important, like doing something today, not wait for tomorrow. Like, what is the first advice or financial move that anybody should do or have in place to protect themselves and their family? Like, what would you recommend? And I know that this is not a formality. This is just like some thoughts and ideas. But what would you say?
Is having some financial reserves, savings, however you want to call it, opportunity fund, dream fund, but having savings. Have at least minimum of fixed expenses. Have that financial foundation. Just so you know, if you don't do it for you, who's going to do it? And that's what is going to allow you to weather certain situations in life. We know that there are things that we control, but we can control how prepared we are. Okay. When they happen. So build that. If you can do 6 months, it will be great, or up to a year. Okay. I will do that. The second one, protection in the way of a life insurance policy, but with living benefits. I know people don't like to talk, but illnesses, diagnosis can happen to anybody, and it can affect your financial future. Because even if you make progress paying your credit cards or saving, then your savings or your money will be used to having to pay bills. And we know medical expenses in this country. And we also know that we're going through a lot of changes through that right now. So protect yourself, review what coverage you have, and make sure that you have living benefits in case of illnesses, diagnosis, critical, terminal, anything like that. That's an area that I have a lot of expertise and experience on, and I work with amazing companies that offer those products. Because for me, I focus on organization so you can have clarity, goal setting so they align, your money aligns with your goals, the protection, which is the foundation, like building a house, building your financial foundation. If I have my foundation is strong, I know I'm going to build something big. But if your foundation cannot sustain that, gonna it's gonna suffer. It's gonna fall off when things start shaking. You never know. It can come through a formal divorce, a laid off in the job, becoming ill, disabled, whatever. So be prepared. And the other part, I would say, make sure you check all your benefits at your company and update your beneficiaries. Okay. Update your 401k. I remember my 401k, you need to have a beneficiaries on those accounts. Also, if you have an IRA, like, also need to update them, because those are things that sometimes we get it and we forget it. But things change, your kids grow, you get divorced, and sometimes you leave all names back there. Sometimes you used your parent and your parents pass away, and now who else? So make sure you have that. Make sure you prepare your documents, whether it's a will or trust, so you have things organized. And for me, will be just sitting down, make time, something simple. Sit down with your loved ones. Talk about your goals for this year. Money. Okay. Whether it's retirement conversations, protection, savings, debt management, credit building, whatever it is, put it on your calendar. and start taking action. Our community deserve it. We deserve it. And I want to make sure, I want to see us all be successful and not having to worry about finances, no matter what's happening out there.
I love that. Thank you so much for guiding us through this checklist, because this is like a, you put it beautifully, like a checklist of things that we need to go through and think about. And as you were talking, I'm like, oh my God, I haven't done this in a while. So now you have me like, oh, I need to do this as well as the year starts. So thank you for the reminder. So we're coming close to the end. I want to tell our audience like all the fantastic things that are coming up, but I know that you have a gift for our audience. So if you can share that, and then we'll get to the closing.
Yes, for anyone out there, female, male, no matter what title, okay? Title doesn't make us, it's what you do every day. You are invited to schedule a 30-minute complimentary session with me so we can talk about any item, any topic that is of interest to you. And I would love to provide value, guidance, and anything you need to get started. So make sure you take action. It's January, which is a perfect time to review what you have and set some goals, even short term, long term, doesn't matter, but take action. And I would love to connect with you.
Awesome, awesome. So we'll put that link on all our social media platforms where this is going to be streamed, so you'll be able to connect with Diana and make sure that you take advantage of the complimentary consultation, because you never know. It's a great
Yes.
opportunity. So thank you so much, Diana. And you mentioned that building wealth was one of our pillars, and it is. It's critically important because we do see building wealth is one of the things that all of us as Latinas we need, as you well mentioned. So stay tuned, because we're going to continue to have cafecitos like this one with wealth as a topic, but we're also having our workshop coming up at the end of this month on taxes, because a lot of things have changed on the taxes because of the big beautiful bill. So you want to be prepared.
Mhm.
Now is the time to understand what change, how it's going to impact you, how it's not. So make sure that you're signed up for that event in United Latinas/events. You'll see that coming up. It's at the end of this month. And then we also have Libra leaders. Laura Lucas and her team are coming back. We had one at the end of last year around investing, and how do you get into the world of investing, and how do you understand, because it's something that I know that I didn't know until I started all of this, and it's something that it's critically important for us to build that long-term wealth. So stay tuned. That's going to happen on February. So sign up for that one. And then on March, we have another one with Vale Laco. Also, yes, we're having that one.
Yes.
I know, Diana, that you know Vale. She's amazing. And that one is going to be in Spanish. So we're going to have a Spanish speaking financial also session
A
with
coach.
Vale,
Mhm.
who's a financial coach. And so
Mhm.
that one's going to happen in March. And then we have others that are coming up, but I did want to at least give you what's up and coming. So make sure that you sign up for those. And then this week, today in the afternoon, we're kicking off our green room sessions with Marissa, who is oh my God, I'm blanking right now on her title, but she is, la mera mera on the marketing side for NFL. So Marisa Solis. So you want to make sure, if you haven't signed up to be a part of the green room sessions, you won't want to miss this one. There are 6 sessions altogether. Marisa's kicking us off today, and then we have amazing guests coming up each week for the next 6 weeks, and they're going to tell us like the things that you need to know that you didn't know you needed, but to set you up for success. And she's also maybe going to sprinkle a little bit of Bad Bunny and give us like a little bit of a heads up. No, actually, she can't, but she will tell us at least how she got to get Bad Bunny for the NFL. So so don't miss it because Marisa has a lot. Marisa Solis has a lot to share. So we're very excited. We have our conference coming up in April. We have chapter events right now happening. We have chapter events in Massachusetts, in Rhode Island. We're about to set up one in Chicago, South Florida, Atlanta,
Yes.
with Diana.
And
We have Charlotte as
yes,
well.
and I went to
So
the one in Charlotte. Yes, I'm
yes,
gonna be
yes.
supporting
So
with Charlotte.
a lot of things that are coming up. We have an amazing year set up for all of
That's
you.
amazing.
So because guess what? This year is going to be our year. You mark
This
my
is our
words
year.
for it because we're going to come all together. We're going to hold hands and we're going to make the best out of this year. So Diana, thank you
And
so much for being here, for being our guest, for sharing these pearls of wisdom. You can find Diana as one of our members in our site and connect with her because she has a lot to share and connect with all of our members because together we're stronger and we are going to make everything happen. Thank you so
we are,
much,
and
everybody.
Ileana,
Have
yes, and I want to also invite them to join our community, join United Latinas. Okay, we have different chapters all around the country. We're all women professionals, entrepreneurs. You know, doesn't matter what background. Come and join us. There are different memberships levels. They are amazing, and you can really build meet new people, build new connections, and elevate, add value, get empowered, get
absolutely.
prepared, really you're amazing in every area of your life. You're a part of United Latinas. And also make sure that you check our events. All our events, most of them, are free. Sometimes they have a fee, but it's amazing the people that we get to connect, the speakers. I'm super excited. I love sports, Ileana. Personally, I love sports, and I'm super excited that this year we're gonna have the World Cup as well. United States being one of the countries, Atlanta being one of the cities. We have 8 games here already scheduled, so I'm excited. And again, right, you learn, you enjoy, meet new people, new cultures, new languages, but just focus on what you can control. Find the positive side of everything and stay hopeful.
I love that. Thank you so much, Diana. Stay tuned for all the events with Diana in Atlanta because it's going to be amazing and everywhere else. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day and see you next week in another cafecito.